All right, let's talk about something that I think almost all of us do. It's that mental habit of replaying conversations over and over and over in our heads. It's exhausting, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into what's really going on when we do that. And most importantly, how we can actually stop.
You know the scene. It's 3 in the morning, you should be asleep, but your brain has decided to become a movie director, and the feature presentation is a highlight reel of every single awkward thing you did today. That joke that just fell flat. The handshake that was a little weird. That thing you said in a meeting that you wish you could just reach back in time and snatch out of the air. You're just lying there, stuck, replaying it all, thinking of all the better things you should have said.
Yeah, I thought so. This isn't some strange, rare condition. This is just part of being human. We've all been the unwilling star in our own late-night cringe festival. But the big question is, why? Why do we put ourselves through this?
See, this mental loop, it's not just overthinking. It's actually something a lot deeper. It's this subconscious attempt to gain control over time itself. We're calling it the midnight movie. This obsessive redissection of the past, as if we're trying to find some secret edit button for reality.
So, to break this cycle, we first have to understand a really important distinction. We need to get clear on the difference between healthy reflection and destructive rumination. Honestly, telling these two apart is the key that unlocks this whole thing.
Let's break it down. On one hand, you've got reflection. That's productive. That's your brain asking, okay, what can I learn here for next time? It's usually pretty brief and it helps you move forward. But then there's rumination. And that's a trap. That's when your brain is just spinning its wheels, asking, why am I like this? It's a repetitive loop of self-criticism that literally goes nowhere. And that's the crucial insight right there. That 3 a.m. mental movie, that's not reflection. It's rumination. You're treating a past event, something that's done and gone, like it's a puzzle you can still solve if you just stare at the pieces long enough. But you can't. The puzzle's already glued together.
Okay, so if rumination is completely pointless, why is it so hard to stop? Why do we get caught in this loop? Well, it comes down to something called the ideal self gap. Think about it like this. Inside your head, there are two different versions of you. First, there's your ideal self. You know, the hero of the movie in your head. They're witty, charming, perfectly articulate. They never say the wrong thing. And then there's your actual self, the real you, the person who is, a human being and sometimes stumbles over their words or tells a bad joke.
So when you have one of those awkward moments, it's more than just embarrassing. It's like this giant, painful spotlight suddenly switches on, and it illuminates the gap between your actual self and the perfect person you think you should be.
And this is the real reason we ruminate. It's not about learning. It's a defense mechanism. Your brain is desperately, frantically trying to protect the ego of that ideal self. It's trying to go back and fix the mistake to prove that the ideal is still real.
And that's really the engine behind this whole obsession. You're not just remembering something that happened. You are actively trying to rewrite history, all in a futile attempt to protect your ego. I mean, just look at this cycle. An awkward moment happens, boom, the gap is exposed. So your brain tries to fix it by replaying it, dreaming up the perfect thing you could have said. But what's the final, inevitable step? Absolutely nothing changes. The past is still the past. All you've done is create a ton of anxiety for yourself. So how do you get out? What's the escape hatch from this miserable cycle? Well, the solution isn't to get better at winning the argument in your head. The solution is to learn how to forgive your own humanity and to let go of that perfect script you think you're supposed to be following.
And this is it. This is the whole thing, right here. The simple, kind of brutal, but ultimately incredibly freeing truth that you have to internalize. You cannot control the past. You can't edit your life. The suffering comes from trying to.
The goal isn't to finally become that perfect ideal self. That person doesn't exist. The real goal is to accept that being human means being imperfect. Awkward moments are going to happen. You will say the wrong thing. You will tell a joke that totally bombs. You can't edit out your own humanity, and you shouldn't want to. So here's something you can actually use. The next time you feel yourself getting pulled into that 3 a.m. spiral, just gently interrupt the thought. You don't have to wrestle it to the ground. Just say this to yourself. I cannot change what happened, and I don't need to be perfect to be worthy. It's a statement that accepts reality and affirms your worth just as you are. Because ultimately, it really does come down to this one simple choice.
You can spend all your precious energy trying to rewrite a past that is set in stone, or you can give your actual self permission to be human and finally get some rest.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. We spend so much time and energy chasing this idealized version of ourselves, but just take a second and ask yourself, what if the person you already are, the one who sometimes stumbles, the one who says the wrong thing, what if that person is already whole, already worthy, and already enough?